Chronological story of developments in the Mary Phagan murder mystery, Atlanta Journal, July 27, 1913, April 27. The dead body of Mary Phagan is found in basement of National Pencil Factory at 3 a.m. by Newt Lee, the Negro night watchman. Police hold Lee, who later in the day reenacts discovery of the remains before city detectives. April 27, Leo M. Frank, superintendent of the pencil factory, called from bed to view Mary Phagan's body at April 27th. Arthur Mullinax, arrested on information given the police by E.L. Centel, who declared he saw the murdered girl in the former's company at 12:20 o'clock on the morning of the murder. April 28th. Coroner Donahue impanels in metal room on second floor and blood splotched on the floor led police to believe the girl was killed there. April 28th. Coroner Donahue impanels jury for inquest. It meets, views body and scene of crime, and adjourns. April 28th. The largest crowd that ever viewed a body in Atlanta sees Mary Phagan's remains at the Undertaking Chapel. April 28th. J.M. Gant, former bookkeeper at the factory, arrested at Marietta. April 28th. Pinkertons hired by pencil factory to find slayer. April 29th. Frank taken from factory to police station. Chief Lanford announces he will be held until after the inquest. April 29th. Experts declare Newt Lee wrote notes found by dead girl's side. April 29th. Luther Z. Rosser announces he has been retained by Frank and is present when his client is questioned in Chief Lanford's office. April 29th. Discovery of what is apparently a blood stain near elevator leads police to believe girl's body was dragged to the conveyance shaft and dropped to the basement. April 29th. J.M. Gant asks release from police station on habeas corpus. April 29th. State offers reward of $200 for apprehension of murderer. City later adds $1,000. April 29th. Miss Pearl Robinson tells detectives it was she that Centel saw with Mullinax on night of murder. April 30th. Frank and Lee closeted together in office of Chief of Detectives Lanford for an hour. April 30th. Coroner's jury reconvenes. Lee tells his story. Many witnesses called. May 1st. Detectives conclude Mary Phagan never left factory after she entered to receive her pay early in the afternoon of the day of the murder. Jim Conley's arrest. May 1st. James Conley, Negro sweeper, arrested while washing shirt in factory, considered unimportant at time. May 1st. Satisfied with alibis, police liberate Gant and Mullinax. May 1st. Frank and Lee taken to county jail to be held until outcome of coroner's jury probe. May 2nd. Solicitor General Dorsey enters actively into case. May 4th. Police search for girl said to have gone to pencil factory with Mary Phagan on day of murder. May 5th. Frank tells story of his actions on the day of the crime. On the stand for 3½ hours, he tells a straightforward tale. May 6th. Paul Bowen arrested in Houston, Texas. May 7th. Bowen released upon proving alibi. May 7th. Frandon Lee ordered held for grand jury by coroner's jury. May 12th. Mrs. Frank visits her husband for first time since his incarceration. May 16th. Fund to bring William J. Burns, famous detective, to Atlanta is opened. May 17th. Colonel Thomas B. Felder announces that Burns detective is at work on the mystery. May 18th. Burns sleuth turns out to be C.W. Toby. He says city detectives are on right trail. May 21st. P.A. Flack, New York fingerprint expert, makes investigation. Result unknown. May 24th. Conley unexpectedly makes startling confession in which he says he wrote notes found near body at instigation of Frank. May 24th. Frank indicted by grand jury for murder. Lee held as material witness. May 25th. Detectives attempt to gain further confession from Conley. May 26th. C.W. Toby withdraws from case and Burns officials announce their investigation terminated. May 27th. Conley makes another sensational affidavit in which he says he helped Frank carry Mary Phagan's body to basement. Conley reenacts tragedy. May 30th. Conley taken to pencil factory and reenacts in pantomime carrying of body to basement. Taken to tower. May 31st. Conley taken from county jail to Solicitor Dorsey's office for grilling. June 2nd. Defense theory, embodying among other features the belief that the girl was slain on the first floor, becomes known. June 3rd. Manola McKnight makes Sen cook, employed by Mr. and Mrs. Emile Selig, Mrs. Frank's parents, taken into custody. June 3rd. Manola McKnight makes sensational affidavit in which she says she overheard Mrs. Frank tell of strange conduct on Frank's part on the night of the murder. June 4th. Mrs. Frank, in first public statement, declares her husband is innocent. June 5th. Further grilling by detectives fails to change Conley's story. June 7th. Mrs. Frank scores Solicitor Dorsey, declaring that the room in which Manola McKnight made her incriminating affidavit was a torture chamber. June 8th. Attorney Rosser accuses Chief Lanford of insincerity in search for slayer. June 13th. Solicitor Dorsey wins fight to hold Conley at police station instead of county jail by securing revocal of order designating him as a material witness. Conley released and rearrested at door of city prison. June 14th, Solicitor Dorsey goes to New York, declares Tripp has no connection with Phagan case. June 15th, announcement that Frank A. Hooper will be associated with Solicitor Dorsey in the prosecution. June 18th, announcement made that Reuben R. Arnold, attorney, will aid in Frank's defense. June 23rd, Solicitor Dorsey sets trial for June 30th. June 24th, date of trial changed to July 28th at conference between Superior Court Judge Roan and defense and prosecution attorneys. July 9th, public is told of a portion of Mary Phagan's pay envelope being found at bottom of flight of stairs leading from office by Pinkerton detectives soon after the murder. July 10th, L.J. Fletcher, Bertillon expert at Federal Penitentiary, fails to find fingerprints on pay envelope. July 11th, W.H. Mincy's affidavit in which he says Conley, while intoxicated, confessed to killing the girl, made public. July 12th, it is announced that others will corroborate Mincy's story. Pinkerton's change theory. July 18th, it is intimated that the Pinkertons have changed their theory and believe that Frank is innocent. July 18th, call issued for grand jury to meet and consider indictment of Conley as principal. July 21st, grand jury, after hearing statement of Solicitor Dorsey, agrees to suspend action in Conley matter. July 22nd. The discovery of a bloody stick near where Conley sat on day of murder is announced. This leads to belief that Mary Phagan may have been killed with bludgeon. July 24th. Solicitor Dorsey announces he is ready to go to trial on July 26th and will fight vigorously any attempt at postponement. July 24th. Judge Roan of Superior Court says he knows of no reason for delay. July 25th. Defense issues subpoenas for witnesses who will testify in Frank's behalf.